Hello, everyone. I am Shannon Ballman Theis, the Payroll Queen, and today we are going to discuss why employees who work at more than one job usually end up having to pay in at the end of the year. And one of the biggest reasons is because they fill out their W-4 exactly the same way for all the different jobs that they have in and they fail to check the box that they've got more than one job. And generally speaking, if you've got more than one job and you are and one of them is a lot less wages than let's say you've got a main job and a part-time job. At the part-time job, you should be listed as single and have the second that you've got a second job marked. And at the main job, you can, if you're married or had a household, you can pick that correct deduction. And sometimes if you are always having to pay in, let let's say you pay in $12,000 and you get paid once a month at your main job, what you could also do is check check the box that you've got, or on your main job, you don't want to check the box that you've got more than one job. But if you usually end up having to pay in quite a bit at the end of the year, you you can check the box that says that you've got that you want to have extra withholding. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can kind of walk through the the options that you have for filling this out together. Um, so for your primary job, in this section in Part C, fill out if you're single or married filing separately, married filing joint, qualified surviving spouse, or head of household, whichever one is the one that most accurately describes your situation. And then if you have multiple jobs, you're going to click this box. And then when your payroll department enters in your W-4, there is a spot in the payroll software to click this box as well. And you'll, or actually, on your main job, you don't click that. You'll fill out your dependents and other credits correctly. But if you want to have extra withholding, box 4C is where you would enter the extra withholding. Now, for your part-time job or your secondary job, the recommendation so that you have more taxes withheld from this job than you otherwise normally would is to click single, click that you've got more than one job. Do not fill out to claim dependents and other credits at all. Don't pick any additional deductions, but if you also are a small subcontractor and don't have taxes taken out from other sources of income, you can put a number in here. But usually, if, like I said, if you know that you, let's say you get paid weekly and last year you owed another $5,200 on your tax return when you filed it, you can say that you need an extra $100 withheld each pay period, because you're going to have 52 pay periods if you get paid weekly, and $100 will cover that. But, let's say that you owed $12,000 and you get paid monthly. then you're going to have an extra $1,000 of withholding withheld every pay period. And that might not be, if it's just a super part-time position, you might not gross $1,000. So what at the secondary job? So if you have it, if you say that you want $1,000 withheld, some payroll software won't allow you to do that, but others will just say, okay, the net paycheck was $985, so $985 is what we'll put towards the additional withholding. But you do not have to fill out part C, 4C at all to have extra withholding withheld each pay period. Um, but it can be helpful to reduce the amount that you're going to owe. And in this step too, if you are single and have multiple jobs, then you want to check this. If you are married and your spouse works and you work, and you're going to pick whoever makes the least amount of money and click this box, or you both click this box. But it's technically going to have a more accurate federal withholding if both of you click that box. But it's it's also accurate enough if it gets clicked for only one job. But the instructions do say that if there are only two jobs total, you may check this box and do the same on the Form W-4 for the other job. This option is generally more accurate than step 2B. If the pay at the lower paying job is more than half of the pay at the higher paying job. Otherwise, 2B is more accurate. So 2B is to use the multiple jobs worksheet on part 3 and then enter the result in step 4C below, which is the extra withholding that we were discussing earlier. So if you guys have any specific questions on why you're having to owe at the end of the year when your W-4 you believe is filled out correctly, I can try to answer them. But a lot of times the answer is to talk to your tax preparer. But you also need to know that your tax preparer may not be able to answer this question for you if you don't have a tax planning engagement with your tax preparer. So, but just if whenever you've got questions on this, leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you.